Yeah.
Okay, I have to hear answers. You liked the first episode? Okay, it was. You think it'll work on TV here in France? Yes? Okay, good. Now you can ask me your questions. Yes, please. It's a very interesting story, actually. I was doing music in Los Angeles, and I met the VP of casting, she was the VP of casting, Kelly Lee. Now she's in London. But I met her at a party, and we started talking about what I do and what she does, and she asked me, "Do you want to do television? Have you ever thought about it? American TV." Because I started saying that I'm a big fan of American television. The content on American TV is so good right now. So I said, no, I can't do television. It's such a long commitment, and movies finish in 4 months, and it's great. So we left it at that. I went back to India, and I was filming a movie. She flew to India, sat on my set, and pitched an idea to me about doing a talent holding deal, where they sign a talent, and then the network has to find a show for you. She said, just come to LA, just read the scripts. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. It'll just be. Even if you do a mini series. So the conversation basically started with a mini series. I came to LA, I sat by my pool, I read about 26 scripts, everything that ABC made last year. Quantico was my favorite. There were 2 others, one which just got cancelled, and another one which didn't even get picked up. So I'm glad I picked the right one. But yeah, Quantico was my favorite. I shot the pilot. It was commissioned for just 13 episodes, so I said, all right, 6 months, it's okay, I'll go back and I'll do 2 other films. And then it got extended to 19, and then it got extended to 22, and I finally told them, stop, no more, because I still want to do films. And I'm just really happy that I picked the right show. Can you imagine if it went wrong? That would be scary. How do I tell you that? I really want to tell anyone who asks me, but I can't. It recently got cancelled. Anyone can ask me anything. I just don't speak French. That's it. Cultures. But I wanted to be someone who breaks the stereotype of what is expected. That was one of my deals with ABC, that I did not want to do a show that would stereotype me or Indian people into a box of what we're supposed to be like. I wanted to be chosen on merit, and I wanted to do a show. I'm a leading actor in Indian films, and I wanted to make sure that I was a leading actor in whatever I did. I did not want to compromise on that, and they really respected that when it came to what I wanted to do. So I think the big reason for Quantico's success is the diversity. Not diversity in terms of different looking people, but thoughts. Like right in the beginning of the show, and you'll see that as through the series, there's a line that I say. Somebody asks me, why do you think you are framed? And I said, because in America it's easy to frame the brown girl. And that's relevant for the entire world right now. And it's just, whatever the point of view may be, this show brings up debates and conversation. Who's right, who's wrong? It doesn't tell you that. It doesn't tell you this is the right point of view. It's not judgmental. It gives you every point of view of different people. One, I think that's the big reason why it's successful. Second, I think places where my films have been, countries where Indian films go to, because we're not limited to only India. Our films go all across the world. I mean, we've premiered in France, we've premiered in Germany, in Canada, in America. So I think there was a certain curiosity about what I would do on an American show. So people were like, okay, let's buy this show and see. Let's see what she'll do. So I think it was a mixture of all of that. But I'm just really glad that people enjoyed the show very much, and as much as they are now.
A lot of questions, sorry.
I have a lot of time.
Quantico talks about terrorism, which is it an anxious issue to watch? And how do you think this TV series make it watchable and wants to carry on with the show?
See, terrorism, whether we like it or not, is a huge part of our reality today. No matter where in the world we are. I mean, you being in France realize that completely. I being an Indian realize that completely. I live in America, I realize it. People living in Lebanon will realize it, people in Australia realize it. Terrorism is the most cowardly way of instilling fear to make people understand someone's beliefs. There's no right or wrong in this world, and that's what democracy stands for. There's only a perspective. And terrorism is, according to me, that's what it is. And this show talks about the reality of what television might be, but it is enveloped in pop culture and pop entertainment. So there is still there's still music, there is still a good-looking cast, there's still relationships, there is still human beings and people. Basically, this show is about secrets and human secrets. That each one of us has secrets. And what will happen when those secrets come out? How will we change? This show is basically, I mean, it happens to be, you know, in Quantico. It could have been in a college. It could have been in New York, NYPD. It could have been anywhere. It's basically about human relationships and how human beings react. And when you see the series, you'll see, especially at the end of this season, you'll understand the reasoning behind why bad things happen. Because some people believe that they have the power in their hands and a God complex to change what is not in their hands. And that's primarily what terrorism is, where people are taking charge of other people's lives, which is not their business. So that's why I think the show is, it's not as serious where it turns around and tells you that, you know, I am art, but it doesn't take your intelligence for granted. It keeps you engaged as an audience as well. Yes? Yeah, go ahead.
Did you know who was the bad guy when you started shooting? And did it affect your acting?
None of us knew who the terrorist was till episode 21. Nobody. I don't even think the writers knew, actually. Honestly, I think they were also writing as they went along. But we all found out in episode 21. I mean, I'm sure the writers found out like 1 or 2 episodes before, but because we were commissioned for 13 episodes, they weren't ready for 22. So we had to write as we went along. And I have to say they've done an amazing job because the show really keeps you on your toes. Yes, hi.
So now season 1 is over. In the US, you're going to start season 2. Without any spoilers, obviously, but what are you the most excited for season 2?
I want to see what will happen to Alex's life. I mean, poor girl. When you watch this season, she's always running. She never catches a break. She can't trust anybody. I mean, I have trust issues because I'm playing Alex. I know so many people who watch this show and they're like, I can't even trust my cat anymore. It makes you feel like you question everything and everyone. And that's why I love the show, because it makes me think, you know, what it could be. So I'm really excited to see where Alex will go. I don't want to give it away, so I won't tell you all about it. But also the show has moved to New York City. So I'll be in a new city for 6-8 months. I'm excited about what that means. The streets of New York will be my sets. It should be fun. I'm excited about that. No, please don't apologize. It's fine.
Did you feel some pressure to be the first Bollywood star to cast as a lead female in American TV shows?
Not initially. Not in the beginning. I didn't think about it because I didn't think that, oh, I'm going to be the first Indian actor. First of all, I don't like, I mean, not saying it to you, I just don't like the word Bollywood because it reduces us to being a Me Too of Hollywood, which we are not. We're a completely independent. It's like calling the French film industry Frollywood. You wouldn't like that. Yeah, exactly. So I don't like it, but we're so much more than that. We're one of the most prolific film industries in the world. We make about 900 films a year. 40% of our profits come from outside of India, not even in India. So we're like a major film industry. So I didn't think about it initially. I just thought as an artist, because I think as an artist, I just want to be someone that doesn't want to be limited by, I don't think art should be limited by borders, language, face, color. I think the best person for the job should get the job. And I think that's what art needs to be. Global entertainment has come down to our fingertips today. I mean, we watch films from Iran to France to Germany to America to UK to Australia, all on our cell phones. I mean, it's that simple. We don't have to even travel the world to travel the world. So global entertainment cannot have a kind of face. It cannot have a kind of language. It just has to have the best person for the job. And I was just very clear about the fact that I just want to grow as an artist. And I don't want to be limited by anything. But when the show was releasing, before the pilot aired, the first day, that day I was very nervous. I was if I may say so, I was sitting by the pool because I had to live tweet. And I said I have to sit by the pool because I can't sit in my room. I was very nervous. And I was just, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm in France, so okay. I was just having Bellinis and live tweeting because I was really nervous. And I was so happy that the show premiered the way it did, and we got the numbers that we did. And then we got acceptance globally that we did, which was very important to me because I'm not an American star, you know. I'm not from America. I'm from a completely different country, and that made me nervous that I'm not even Indian American. I'm Indian. So will I be able to convince America every Sunday that I'm an American girl? And that's my job as an actor. I had to learn the accent, I had to learn the body language, I had to do all of that. That's my job. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't sure that I would be convincing enough. But now it's all good. Yes, sir.
Hello. Quantico talked about a massive attack on US soil like 9/11, but since a few weeks on American soil, you know, attack like Orlando. In your opinion, will it change the way you talk about terrorism on season 2 of Quantico?
Quantico is a pop culture show. It's definitely not docudrama. It's inspired from events around around the world that we live in, but it's not going to be based on exploiting every terrible thing that happens, because there are a lot of terrible things happening around the world right now. It'll have its own plot. It'll be very different this time from the pace of the first season. It'll be different the second season, but no, I don't think it'll be any bad thing that you can think of to write or show probably has already happened in the world right now. So unfortunately, to think about it, anything that comes up can get a comparison with a real life event, but that's not the thought before writing it, for sure. I have 3 extremely popular people who are asking me questions. Just saying for everyone else. Just saying.
Like you said, I read you had the main challenge for you was to learn the American accent. Can you talk about it? How you do it? How you repeat and have a coach maybe?
Yeah, I did. I had a dialect coach. So even in my Indian films, in Hindi films, every state has a different language. So they have different accents. So I've played a lot of characters from different states, and these are not dialects. These are written and spoken languages. 50-something languages in India. So I've played girls from different states. So I'm used to doing accents. But it took me 3 days to say, okay, Alex Parrish, FBI, Counterterrorism Task Force. Okay? Counter-terrorism Task Force. Because I say Counter-terrorism Task Force. You see the difference? So I just couldn't say terrorism. You know? So I used to walk into my shower, keep saying terrorism. Counter, FBI. Wherever I'd walk in. So it took me a little while. Also probably a couple of episodes to really understand it. But now I can switch in and out of my accent and the American accent. But it was very difficult. I'm telling you, you guys, you're my peeps.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the season was supposed to have only 13 episodes at first, and then 22 now.
Then 19, then 22.
Then 19, then 22, right? And did the addition of these 9 episodes affect the plot? Or, for example, the true storyline the Shelby and Caleb's father, was it supposed to be at first, or was it added then?
That would be more of the writer's question than me, honestly, because I knew an episode only two episodes before, like when we went into production. So I don't know how much the storylines changed, but I'm pretty sure that they did. As the show went along, as people reacted to characters, as when the audience was watching it, who they liked, who they didn't like. Television is very organic, and it's something I didn't know because I've always done films where you get a bound script, you know how it's going to start, you know how it's going to end. But TV is alive, you know, because it's written as you go along, and it's a very scary process, especially for someone who didn't know television at all. Go ahead. So I didn't know if it has changed. I have no idea. I didn't know if that was the plan or it changed because it got prolonged. Yes.
I've got a question about the set. On the set, you make the TV series. How many hours you work every day? How many days every week? And do you have a limit, like a legal limit about working? For example, they say you cannot work more than 10 hours a day. 50 hours a week or something.
Where do they say that? Can I work in that country?
It's a question.
I want to work in that country. Is that how it works in France?
Yes.
You work only 10 hours?
Yes.
Okay guys, we're moving the show here. Because that definitely didn't happen in French Quebec. We work 16 hours. We're supposed to work 12 hours, but sometimes, you know, it's a TV show. We're supposed to finish every episode in about 8 days, maximum 9 days. But Quantico is a very difficult show because it's two timelines, there's future and the present. And we have almost about 95 scenes in each episode because you have to keep the pace. So we worked sometimes even weekends. We worked sometimes 16 hours a day. We definitely got a turnaround, sometimes not. But, you know, hey, we're making entertainment and it's a lot of fun. And there's a price to pay for everything. I believe that. And yeah, I'm tired. I'm of the belief, like I right now have two very active careers, one in America and one in India. I'm still doing Indian films and I will continue to do it as long as people want to watch me. I'm doing films in America, I'm doing a TV show in America, but that means that I don't get to sleep. I fly around the world for one day. I treat an airplane like a bus. I literally sit in it and go to another continent. I mean, I can sit down in a crib and say, you know, I'm tired, but then you don't get what you want, and all I want is global domination. So the same way, you have to work. It's a very, very difficult show, and I think the entire cast understands that. So we always had each other's backs. We would order good food sometimes from outside just to make ourselves entertained and to wake up, lots of coffee. But eventually at the end of it, we have an extremely hit show, and we all wanted that.
How many rests do you have between two episodes?
None.
You said you work 8 or 9 days, and after it's one episode?
So we work 5 days in a week,
yeah.
Then you get the weekend, and then you work 6, 7, 8,
yeah.
And then the next day you start the next episode. And then you get Saturday, Sunday off, sometimes.
I saw on your Instagram you went to London with your mother, is it?
Yes, I did. But it was because Quantico launched in UK.
Yeah.
But my mom was with me. Who's here right now, by the way? My mother's right here.
Oh, okay.
I took her it was her birthday.
Yeah.
So she's on a Euro tour with me for her birthday.
The Quantico is already out on
yes.
TV in UK?
Yes.
And then you are quite famous there? Did the people stop you in the street?
A little bit. But I mean, I've been a public person since I was 17 years. And since I was 17 years old. And like I said, our films go to so many places. And there's such a massive demographic for our films that I've always, that's my normal. I'm not someone who, oh God, I hope somebody doesn't recognize me, because, you know, I'm really grateful for the love and affection that I get, and that literally makes me feel like it's my support. So yeah, we had, you know, well-wishers and fans whenever we went out in London, but that's just how my life has been, and I wouldn't want it any other way, honestly. Thank you. Yes.
Now you are in the US TV industry. Is there another show that you'd like to star on?
No, please stop. No, I can't.
Why are you TV?
I'm so tired with Quantico. It's exhausting. I just want to do this show right now. I haven't even thought of anything else. I'm doing films in whatever little time I have. I've done an American film right now which is called Baywatch, which is going to be a remake of a movie version of the TV show, in which I play the antagonist, and I am planning on doing a Hindi film next year as well when I get my next break. So I'm trying to figure out which Hindi film. So I want to be able to balance America and India, and you never know, whichever country takes me anywhere else. I've got some really interesting scripts from countries and languages that I don't speak, but I want to learn it, Like I said, I think art, as long as you have the thirst for knowledge, you can be an artist anywhere. And maybe a French movie. I know how to say rendezvous sur MC. See? Not bad, not bad. I just learned it 5 minutes ago.
How do you like playing an antagonist in a movie? Because you're like the hero in Quantico, but how did you like playing the bad guy?
Oh, it's so good to be bad. It really is. I've been a villain, a negative character, and I think twice or thrice in my Hindi films. But this was just so funny because it's a comedy. Okay, Baywatch is going to be a comedy. It's hilarious. And I don't remember the last time I've seen a movie where someone was just really mean to Dwayne Johnson. People don't even talk in front of him. And my character's like mean and degrading and evil. And I had so much fun doing that to him because nobody can do it. But it was a lot of fun. It's always good to play a negative character because you don't get to think like that. You don't get to think, some people do, I'm sure. I don't think so evil in my real life, but it was great fun. I think I enjoyed it too much. That was scary.
Okay, we have time for one last question.
Oh, thank you. So, according to the time, you are one powerful woman, one of the 100 more powerful
Influential.
Yes, sorry.
Exactly?
Yes, quite even so.
Thank you.
What does it mean?
I'll take it.
Okay. What does it mean to have influence? And what do you do with this influence?
I actually don't know that I have influence. I think when you know that you're influential then you're not influential anymore, because you're trying to be someone who influences people's minds, and people always see through that. I think I'm just someone who works really hard at my job. I'm someone who believes in being the best version of me. I can't change her, I can't change you, I can't change anyone else, but I can change me. So when I become the best version of myself, maybe that gives people who watch my work or like me, it maybe gives them an inspiration to try and do that to themselves, and that's how I become influential. But I'm not really making an effort to be influential. Second thing, what do I do with the fact that I'm influential is I definitely try and use the platform that I'm in, a position of power, a position where people may not do what I say, but they'll hear me, they'll listen to me. So I use my voice for as many things that I can that are important to me, causes that are important to me. My parents raised me to be a very opinionated girl. They always told me that you shouldn't be afraid of speaking your mind. Sometimes it gets me into trouble, but I still speak my mind. So I use my influence for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have one last information that I just got.
Yes, ma'am.
Quantico started yesterday in Spain.
Yes, it did.
On the Quattro channel, and
yes,
it was a success.
Yay!
So I hope it will, and I'm sure we have the same success on M6.
I hope so, I really do. I'm very excited about it airing on M6. MC6? Oh, we have to do it with the nose?
Yes. Perfect. Thank you very much. Your answers are so interesting and they are so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.